was it me and Rioan were like testing it out prior, and they had like an alternate one called Gaiarc, which was like the servers were based in like France, so like the download would be faster, and I was like, oh shit, that's good, but it doesn't even work. I was like, fuck, that sucks.
Well, that's great.
Anyway, welcome back, guys, to episode 2 of Good, Great, Perfect. I'm here, Captain Poppy. What's popping? I got my man Dilba.
What's going on, guys?
I got my man Joba.
Hey.
And I got my man Toadski.
What up?
I need to find my intro. Like,
hey, but like let me do my intro first. Then we can discuss your intro later. Unfortunately, Cobb's away at work. Nightmare's still dead, apparently. That's fine. We're gonna get to it today. Episode isn't really as dense as last week's ep. However, there's a lot of good talking points.
And we kind of tend to go on tangents as well.
That's true. So it gives us more time to tangent as well. But shout out everyone that actually supported the first ep. Channel hit 100 subs, which is kind of crazy. Also, the video got 1.3 thousand views, which is also really awesome too. And Anchor's been popping off. We're getting hella people listening there. We're available worldwide. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker. All those platforms are available to listen on. We might delve into the SoundCloud element eventually at some point, but we're still thinking about it. But for the docket today, we're going to go into a little bit of OPTC news, just the current stuff that's been going on global primarily. We have a question that we want to discuss, pretty good viewer question, and then that'll probably generate much more of a discussion. So without further ado, let's get to it. Let's start with Clash Ace and his ship. What are we thinking? I know everyone's got the idea that Clash Ace is really easy, and it actually is. What are you guys' thoughts on the unit, the raid? What are we thinking? What are we feeling?
8 copies and dip. There's
For
so
real?
much to do right
Wait,
now.
what?
Yeah. No, he's a good unit, but I have a lot of skill books. I think I'm going to focus on other stuff because I still got to do those 40 runs. For
you don't need the 40 runs is too much, man. I'm gonna tell you that right
5
now.
gems. I'm telling you.
Wait, you say Neptune?
Yeah.
But like
for the 5 gems.
We just said eight.
That's what he's saying. He's going to do Neptune over Ace.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Why would you waste books on Ace? I don't think that's a good idea.
Or just farm them both.
I guess I could too, but there's only a few days of all of the things, and we have the skill up ship, or not the skill up ship, the experience ship. There's a lot to do all of a sudden, so I got to prioritize.
So your priorities are wrong, is what you're saying.
Yeah, true, probably.
I think Raid Ace is a pretty decent character, though. One thing that I'm actually not a fan of is how do they release a character such as the Psy World Clash Ace that everyone got for free? His captain ability is a 3 times flat to all characters, where this guy's captain ability is 3 times only under 50% for only 3 classes.
Let them know. Let them know.
Like what? That I don't like, but his special is really good.
They're wilding, man.
They actually are wilding. Like, I think it's cool. I think the ship is really cool as well.
Yeah,
I haven't looked into Ace or the ship too much. I've been like pretty busy with like work, and I was crook for like 3 days straight. And so I'm catching up on Neptune and shit at the moment, so I haven't actually looked at Ace yet.
Well, the ship is boost powerhouse, free spirit, and fighters HP by 1.2 times and attack by 1.5, and boost their attack by approximately 1.6 if HP is below 30% or below, before attacking. So basically a 1.6 times attack on the and you can run things like running like a quick Whitebeard team with that ship is pretty
yeah, I mean that's the only team I can really think of that would really abuse that. I mean you've got for Powerhouse, you got quick Whitebeard, just basically teams that run at low health is what you'd want to be using with it. Free Spirit, the only free spirit unit that runs at low HP would be V2 Rayleigh, and no one's using V2 Rayleigh.
As a cap, yeah.
And then you got fighters, and if you're using a fighter team, if you're using V2 Sanji, you don't want to be at low health because of his special. So
yeah. See,
personally, I'm not for Whitebeard.
Yeah, personally, I'm not a big fan of low health captains. I honestly think they're too risky. They're not worth it. That's why I really don't like V2 Whitebeard. I honestly think he's overrated because just how much I hate low health captains.
Controversy.
I disagree.
Like no, like he's good, but there's so many better options that aren't as risky, and again,
I can
my-
understand where you're coming from, but like,
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Whitebeard has ways to kind of get around the fact that being at low health is kind of risky. With the fact that his special reduces damage, the fact that you have Log Ace, which can give you a bit of healing back as well.
Yeah, I
There
just
are
think
options, but I can understand where you're coming from. But yeah, okay.
well, with my character box, I just think I can make like at least 4 better teams than
Oh yeah, well, of
Whitbeard.
course. You know,
Easily.
when you're comparing it to that kind of stuff, then for sure.
Yeah, better and safer teams, and
Totally
even
depends on
faster.
content too.
There's
Well,
also a lot of content where you don't really need to take damage though. So even if it's risky, it's not gonna be the end of the world for a lot of stuff. I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
but like I'd rather have the safety net. Like for example, right now I'm using a Wako team, which is a little slower than the Katakuri team I was using, but the Katakuri team you don't take damage either. But I fuck up so much. I want to have that safety net. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if
No,
I fuck
but
up, I can still. Yeah.
That's fair. Like, you know, like that's a fair assessment. But like speaking of Whitebeard, he's released on JP. I believe it's 13 multis for guaranteed.
Yep.
Really?
That's
Ooh.
a lot. Like 13 multis for guaranteed. Like we were lucky. We thought 9 was like
I would assume that the Whitebeard will be the highest point booster.
for them, 100%.
Yeah, surely.
100%.
Oh, fucking up another treasure.
Yeah.
map.
Yeah, we're screwed again. Once again. Which, speaking of treasure map, good segue, Joba. We're going to talk about TM Doffy. Well,
they've added all the stuff into the character log. We've got the treasure map rare recruits, treasure map Dofis in the log, 6+ Dofis in the log. It's all there.
We're all there.
Nice.
We're ready to go. Looking at the boosted list, what are you guys' thoughts? If you have had a look yet?
Sabo's boosted. I'm hoping he's a high point booster, not just like a low one.
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean,
But
at the moment, we're assuming 1.2.
Like the highest point booster is probably going to be Law. Let's be honest, the treasure map rare.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If you time travel, you can see like they're highlighted, right? That's how you can tell which ones are.
Yeah.
boosters.
You can't view their point value though.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I see.
Even then, they have like a preliminary list on the actual TM news. And I was also like looking through Reddit. Whoa, look at me looking through Reddit. But I was looking through Reddit and someone like I can't remember who it was. One of the mods though. They posted that like there was some TM news that rewards were going to get changed in the mid-October TM at some point.
Yeah, this is for JP. Yeah, I did hear about
JP?
this.
Okay.
So, yeah, what happened
I was getting excited, and then I was like, never mind.
Yeah, so what's happening is apparently they're making New World exclusive rewards for Treasure Map. I don't know what that means. I'd assume there's just things that you can get only in New World that are not in the other two. I don't know.
Surely more tablets.
I would assume more
Maybe
tablets. They don't need more. They don't need more tablets though. That's the issue. They already have so many.
I guess that's true.
Their rewards are crazy. Like, you know, like their tablet drops are like so much higher than like what Global even touches at all.
Yep, that's facts.
Okay.
That probably won't hurt any of us, since I don't think we ever really drop out of New World.
The treasure map boosted list for our next treasure map actually looks really good though. There's lots of legends boosted. There's so many. And there are like lots of good ones too.
Yeah. Like I mean, V2 Cutter, shout out one time. Your boys got him now. Finally, we can run him. Like, you know, he's been boosted like so many times now. Sabo's like pretty much the same thing. Snake Man now is pretty common in terms of boosting.
Bato Cavendish, Cracker.
Bato Cab.
That's boosted again.
That's one of the things that sucks for people that are going to be building teams. Like the highest point booster team, the point boosters aren't going to work with the captain. Unless you're like, you can't, like, Law and Corazon aren't necessarily going to work, or even at all going to work with Bato and Cav. Or Cracker either. So, like, you're in this predicament now where it's like you're running Sabo for the surefire guarantee, or you're going to run some janky Bato Cav team for early nav levels and see how far it can take you.
Yeah, it really depends on what units are in that like small 1.35 list, because
100%.
there might be a really good captain in there. Like, I'm not 100% sure. What was our last treasure map again? I forgot. Was it none?
Smoothie oven. It was smothered.
Smoothie oven. Jesus.
Actually, you can technically use Smoothie oven with the Corazon because you're Psy. I guess that could kind of work.
True. You could.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's true. Well, on continuing with this OPTC news theme, we all just finished Blitz Battle. You know, it was the quote unquote rematch, i.e., in my opinion, we're too lazy to design a new Blitz Battle, so we're just going to give you the exact same one and give you worse rewards. Anyway,
Were they,
what
were they
what
actually
do you
worse?
guys- Yes, of course they were
Oh,
worse. Surely they were. Unless
No, they're the
unless
same.
I'm wilding. They were the same.
Yep.
I think it ended up being the same, but
What?
the restrictions to get what you got was easier this time around. I think
Oh, okay. I'm wilding then. I'm wilding.
because I think
thought
last
they were-
time
I
it was
thought they
top
were worse.
10K, and I think it might have been top 5K for the
Yeah,
rating.
I did 7 runs, so I got 2 reds.
Oh my days. See,
Nice.
this is the first blitz that I went hard in. Like I got ranked 29 on Akainu side. And I didn't run Kidji at all. I ran it for top 2K. But it was actually like satisfying running it. Like it felt like after a while you get
Yeah.
into a flow state and you
Yeah.
start running. You start
Yeah.
doing runs.
It was actually
Like-
fun.
You know?
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah.
shout-
As soon as this blitz started, I actually that's when I got sick, and then I've been
You're
sick.
like, nah. You're
Yeah,
like, nah, I'm good.
picking up my phone felt like a chore. I'm like I could farm this for literally the only thing I'd be getting out of it would be the USBs, or
Yeah,
I could
true.
go to sleep and try and get over this sickness.
That's awesome. I mean, like, I think in terms of like USBs, I think I did 321 runs total on Nakayu's side. I think I dropped like 30 like something USBs. So like the
Oh, I got
rate
a
was
ton.
like, yeah, like the rate wasn't obviously the best, but it wasn't that bad in terms of like the drop rates and stuff.
We've had
And you got the
worse.
occasional like limit break materials and potions and stuff like that, which is always nice to see that there's another way to actually get these materials that's not just TM related.
Though
Like-
you couldn't even get large potions from the
That
blitz
was
item.
that concerned me. Why are they cutting that specific part off? I feel like those kinds of things should just be prevalent in a lot of content now. Like I don't see why we're still cutting off limit break materials and potions to just treasure map, whereas it should just be available in a lot more facets of content.
I don't know. I think I agree there, but I think that they're actually starting to lean more towards like helping out the player now, especially with the most recent Sugo Fest that's been
Yes.
out. Like
Yes.
that when I first saw that, I like fell out of my chair. I'm like, that's
No
of
one
course that,
believed it.
Like
of
there's
course
no
that-
way that's true.
yeah, basically, and I'm like, of course that happens when I've already got all the legends, so I'm not gonna have to pull. But
Well, before we delve into the Sugo Fest, I want to touch on one last thing in terms of news, or two last things. Limited rare recruit banner, and we're going to talk about Neo Neptune as well. Limited rare recruit banner, you guys pulling? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm
what are you guys
pulling.
thinking? You're pulling? Why?
Yeah, it
Let me
looks
know
good,
why.
Pudding.
Pudding is she's just
I don't even
freak.
know if she's good, but she's pudding.
She reduces silence duration by 5 turns, reduces percent damage reduction, resilience buffs, and by 5 turns, changes block and badly matching orbs into G. And if there are 6 driven characters in your crew when the special is activated, changes colored orbs into matching orbs and recovers 5,000 HP at the end of the turn for 3 turns.
So that was off the top of your head, right? You just remember the spell.
No. And her sailor ability, she reduces silence duration on herself by 5 turns, and she makes Psi orbs beneficial for driven.
So you're saying like she's probably like one of the best utility units. in the
Yes,
game.
and if you have
Yeah.
Bato Cav, she's like a must-have.
She's perfect. Yeah. So like that's and like they're also releasing Kinemon at the same time.
Mm.
Kinemon
really
isn't
good,
as
right?
exciting. He's a
Yeah.
color booster, which is like whatever. Because like if you're
It's
using
still-
Slasher Team, like I kind of like Raid Zora better just because of the utility that he gives you.
Dude, Raid Zoro is the best raid. I'm saying it
Yeah.
right now, man. Raid Zoro,
Nah, that's facts.
the goat of TM teams. Oh, you need a rainbow shield remover. Even if Raid Zoro isn't boosted by the captain, you chuck him in, he does the job. That's it, man. But for sure though,
He
like
removes Rainbow Shield, he removes Threshold as well, I think.
he's so
Uh,
good.
he's
Actually
great.
he's so
He's a good captain too.
and his support is fire as well.
Yeah, his supportability.
Can't sleep on that either.
Oh, it's so good.
Raid Lucci's cool as well.
Yes,
Well,
Ray
that's-
Lucci's Ray Lucci's like one of the top conditional boosters in terms of proccing his own conditional. The only better conditional booster is the TM booster law.
I'm not a big fan of the Lucci just because he's a number one, he requires one enemy for your
Yes,
condition to
yeah.
activate. And number two, he's a delay conditional, which I prefer defense down conditional because you can activate it more often.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like in terms of conditional boosters, I think like one of the main conditional boosters I use all the time is Treasure Map Sabo. He's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to
So
think.
good.
I'm
I think,
forgetting about Colo Madge. Colo Magellan is insane.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
that's
oh,
facts.
shit. I use him a lot.
Colmagel's fire as well.
He's got the conditional and he's got utility and he's got the strong poison.
All right, never mind. No, I take it back.
You're
I'm
sleeping on
wild.
this man hard.
I'm out of control today. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just yapping.
And he can
But-
go on so many teams. Good classes, good color. He's perfect.
For real. All right,
I hope he's
last thing. Neo Neptune with Shirahoshi support. I think Colin Neptune's good it's a great unit. Neo version never
There's not much
sometimes
difference.
there's not much difference. Sometimes it's annoying to have always getting Neo versions and not new.
Especially
units,
because
but it's
this
still good,
dungeon's
though.
like really fucky.
Yeah, this dungeon's kind of annoying to run as well.
One thing I wanted to check though, is there another Neptune character in the game that manipulates orbs?
I don't know.
Because
no,
that relates to the Shirahoshi character. Because
No,
the
there's
Shirahoshi
not.
can only attach to Neptune and only activates if the Neptune manipulates orbs. And it doesn't look like there is.
There's like Colo and Fortnite and Rare Recruit. That's all I can think of.
well, Fortnite doesn't do it. Rare Recruit
Well,
locked
actually, the
orbs, or
treasure map
does-
Rare Recruit one does.
Oh, damn.
That comes out with Cat Dog on treasure map Lucci.
Oh.
That's
that
another
one,
TM we're
like,
gonna get
but-
screwed on.
Yeah, exactly.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And treasure map
Come
Lucci
on.
sucked. I know a lot of people hated that treasure map just because of how difficult it was, and you pretty much needed Sabo Koala as a friend captain at the very least for one of the bosses. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Is it
nah.
worse than TMNL? NL was a nightmare.
And it was a pain. Yeah, I agree. Hated
Alright.
that treasure map.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, boys. The new Sugo Fest. Guaranteed all 11 posters are legends on the 5th multi. Guaranteed all 11 posters on the 10th multi are legends from a selected list. Is this the best Sugo Fest we've ever seen?
Definitely.
Judging from
What?
the tweets that I've been getting on Twitter, I would say it's definitely up there with one of the best Sugos of all time, for sure.
What would
And,
rival it?
and the
in your
thing is,
opinion?
the thing is, they're all the legends are the same rate too, so that could
Mm.
be good or bad, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I did the 10. I got 2 new legends. You can't
And you
complain.
weren't missing much.
And I
Yeah.
was missing 6 total. I was missing V1 Shanks and Time Skip Luffy. I still want to make a point to that. V1 Shanks is the rarest legend in the whole game. I've never seen him. I've never seen like anyone pull him in recent time. But that's par for the course when you get a larger legend pull. It's gonna be harder to pull those like more specific legends, obviously.
Yeah.
But thinking about like the structure, there was definitely during the multis where there were no legends like at all. There was definitely you could tell there was like potentially like they dropped the rates of pulling a legend on like multis 1 through 4 because like, it was like, very rare did you see someone pull out of a non-guaranteed. Very
Yeah.
rarely,
Well,
and it makes sense though.
Probably got Cracker, I think, out of a.
He did say that. He
guaranteed
did
red,
say,
yeah.
that's crazy. Like that's actually nutty when you
Yeah.
think about it.
Well, that's the
But
thing. If
these-
you do get a red outside of the guaranteed, like legit, it can be anything because they're
Yeah.
all the same rate.
They're
which
all
is
the
pretty-
same rate.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but at the same time, it's like wild because like people always compare like, oh, I pulled this really low legend rate and it could have been V2 cutter, it could have been a cracker, could have been carrot. In this one, it's like if I pulled V1 Akainu, it could have been anything.
Yeah.
Everything's the same rate. It could have genuinely been anything.
Pure
But-
RNG this time.
It was. I like the fact that they did it at 5 and 10 as well. I think 10 was a pretty like I feel like if you were just pulling because you like for the 5, that's fine. But if you're pulling to get something new, like going to the 10 was a must.
The 10
and all
multis
the
is
leg-
crazy. The legends you'd see on the 10th multi are so crazy.
You're
The
seeing
fact
some-
that Judge was in there though was a bit. Was a
Yeah,
bit
I
whack.
was mad. I saw Judge pop up. I'm like, what are you doing here, you old man? Get out of my multi, man. I want to see new stuff. I want to see hot stuff. And you're seeing Judge, man. Could have been like Sanji Judge. I'd been like, oh, that's cool.
The main
Like-
thing that people are basically asking is, should I pull on this Sugo first?
And that does relate to our Twitter question received from GJK612. Like I said, via Twitter, he asked a few questions. We're going to delve into it a little bit. The first question he asked is it worth pulling on the selected Sugo Fest, like the all 5 gem multi? All 5 gem. Jesus, I wish. All,
Oh,
all
man.
legend multi on the 5th multi. Okay, I just want a binary answer. Yes or no. Dilba.
Sorry, I was zoned out. What was-
Okay. Is it worth pulling? Yes or no? Binary. One
Oh
word.
yes.
Joba.
Yes.
Well, that's we'll come
I'd
back
say
to that,
yes with
Sutter.
an asterisk.
Okay, all right.
It
Hit
depends
me
on
with,
what you're missing.
hit me with the, hit me
exactly.
with the
It is
source. Hit me with the
exactly that. It
source.
depends on what legends
Oh,
you're missing
yeah,
and
I
how
agree
many.
there. Yeah.
100%. I mean, because
This
like,
is an amazing Sugo for people missing a lot.
wait, what were you saying, Joba?
If you're missing a lot of legends, this is a godsend Sugo, especially if you have a lot of gems saved up.
For newer players, this Sugo Fest
Bro,
is as good
I
as
was
it can
telling
get.
people, I'm like, if you want to start playing the game, start now. Farm those story gems. You'll have enough to do 5.
Yeah,
Like it'll be very easy, especially with the 3 times ship right now. Like you'll never need to spend a gem on
just
Stam
re-roll for
at
that
all.
Gear 4 Luffy and then go through story.
And then go ham. Just go wild. Like this is the moment to if you wanted to play. Like everyone always says, wait for the 2 times legend rate, wait for the Annie, wait for Bullet, wait for this. This probably is the pinnacle.
You'll never get this many legends in 5 multis compared to this Sugo Fest.
Unless you're insanely lucky. Somehow, God bless you with like 5 legends a multi or something like that. But
12 guaranteed legends in 5 multis.
You can't sleep on that. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on that because the rate of legends in the non-guaranteed multis is so low, supposedly. But you have to think about it in the terms of the ratio. If you are to do all 10, you're guaranteed a minimum of 24 legends in 10 multis.
And half of those are limited pool.
And, half of those are top tier legends.
Exactly. If your account has nothing and you somehow manage to get the 10 multis worth of gems, like even if you buy gems or whatever, those 11 legends even, on the 10th multi, every single one of them is going to be good.
And you get one on the 7th multi, don't you, as well?
You get, oh, that's right. You get a limited on the 7th as well.
Yep.
And it's a guaranteed legend on the 2nd too. So like, it's really like this Sugo Fest, in my opinion, is probably the best Sugo Fest we've seen.
It's not worth it unless you go to 5 at least. But
yes,
if you go to
5, 100%. If you go to 5,
if you can't do at least 5. Yeah,
5, 5. You need to do 5. If you don't do 5, you're a clown. I'm saying that. Don't pull on this Sugo Fest. You eat glue. This is the that's the caption of this show. We're sending that out right now. If you do something stupid, you eat glue. We're gonna say that now. For now on, I've decreed it. If there's some dumb stuff, you eat glue. But like we said, it's definitely worth going, but you have to go all 5. Minimum all 5.
I think the very fact that the Sugo exists begs the question: why would they do this? This was so unexpected. As soon as we saw this, a lot of us thought this has to be a mistake. There's no way this can actually happen. And if it is going to happen, there's no way they're going to have equal rates, and that happened too. Part of me is thinking that this is some sort of going out of business Sugo.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that.
Well,
so who knows? They must have got. It's like someone held a gun to the Bandai. Whoever's running the game. It's insane that we got this.
So me and Todd got our magnifying glasses out.
I think the way that I see it is when the 100 million download celebration came out, JP got an amazing Sugo Fest where the first 3 multis were guaranteed legends, and I think they were also restricted pool legends as well.
So, yeah.
Global never got a 100 million download Sugo Fest. I mean, I think we did, or it was like a road to 100 million download Sugo Fest, but it was really
we did get a road. We did get a road.
So this Sugo Fest, I feel like, is kind of the redemption of that. Like,
I believe it is the 100. I still believe it's the 100 mil celebration.
I feel like it is. Yeah.
If you look on Twitter, like the OPTC Twitter, they have a tweet that mentions Raid Ace as being part of their 100 mil celebration. Does that mean that we're going to get it like let's say our treasure map campaigns gonna be 100 mil? Who knows? It could be. We could get some really crazy treasure mode Sugo Fest as well to celebrate 100 mil. But I feel as if
it's so weird the fact that we got this Sugo Fest as well as the Marineford Sugo Fest with guaranteed quick beard again.
Yeah,
look, don't know why they decided to make it the same time.
I feel like they could have combined it.
Yeah, they could have combined it, but you can see why, because of Ace and stuff, and Quickbeard is supposedly the best team for it.
It also begs the question: why did we even get Bluebeard early? Like, as if why didn't he come out?
It was randomly chucked at us as well, though. Like it was such. When I remember when people were saying V3 Whitebeard, I was like, no way, V2 Whitebeard, quick Whitebeard. I'm like, this is impossible. I'm gonna say all the names just in case people get angry. Like I was like, this is impossible. Like who was asking for Whitebeard first of all? Second of all, where's he come from? He's just sometimes units come from the Korean version of the game. Most of the times they come from JP. It's not often that we get like a new legend that out of the order.
It was exciting though. Definitely was exciting.
And why is he another low health captain? Like
hey, he's dead. That's why. He's
So
dead.
People were
his
also
damage
predicting
output is
that
unreal.
people were predicting that when this guy was going to come out on JP, that they'd introduce a 6+.
And they didn't.
Mm.
No, they didn't.
Instead, they said, "Hey, you got
I think
13
artwork that would have
multis."
been awesome for him is the 6+, where it's like Blackbeard looking up at him and is like the light behind Whitebeard as
Bruh.
he's about to
He's
die.
ready to
Oh, dude,
go.
the artwork would have been so sick.
Hey,
Oh,
we got time. But on that, I wanted to ask as well though. Like now that you know what what Quickbeard does and how much damage he can output in do you so Global got it in 9 multis, guaranteed, right? Would you say that the 13, if you were in the position and had the gems to do 13, would you say that doing 13 multis for Quickbeard is worth it, or would you say otherwise?
For me personally, like for me, I'm a completionist, so I'd probably do it. But no, I wouldn't. For me again, I wouldn't recommend it because I don't use him. I've used him once since having him.
I've used him a lot, but think about when we got him compared to like what the meta is now in JP. They have so
True.
many OP legends now that Quickbeard I don't think would shine as much.
that's
And they don't
exactly
have
what I was
log
going to
A's.
say. Yeah.
They're not getting log A's, right?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh,
So the thing is,
Yeah.
right, is I was actually like looking at what some of the JP players were saying about Whitebeard, and like a lot of the player base would agree that Whitebeard's a really good character. He's powerful, but a lot of them just don't want him because they've got Bullet, they've got Psy Luffy, they've got Luffy and Law, they've got every other legend under the sun. Why would you need Whitebeard at this point?
That's true. Unfortunately,
He
he's
came
great
too
for
late.
us.
He came too late, and that's the same with CatDog as well. CatDog, I feel, came too late on JP, especially around the time he got released with Sabo and Koala. Like, why
you gonna
would you
do-
release a cerebral captain when you
How
got
you gonna
Sabo and Koala?
How you gonna
Yeah,
do that? Yeah, how you gonna do that to him like that?
I mean,
How you gonna
to be
do- how you
fair,
gonna do
Cat
this?
Dog is a really good sub for Sabo
No,
and Koala.
100%, 100%. He's a good character, but when you have Saba Koala, why? Like, in what world are you gonna pick? I mean, like, obviously there are circumstances, but it's not often you're gonna pick Cat Dog over Saba
Yeah.
Koala as a captain.
It's just really weird the way they release characters. Even the same with Dex Sabo. Like, why the hell did we get Sabo at that point in time? You know, it's just really weird.
Like, I
Same
think,
with Jack.
I think it's a good question, but it's also like good to think that global TC is trying to. I mean, I hope they're just trying to like do things themselves a lot more now in terms of releasing new characters, like trying to get things in early. I don't like the fact that they mix up TMs and stuff because we're already so comfortable with what we're receiving from Japan.
Mm.
So it kind of screws us in terms of point boosts and things. But I do like that Global's trying to push a little bit more towards giving us like new stuff that hasn't been seen anywhere else.
Yeah, I do like that.
I-
I do enjoy it.
Yeah, with the mixing TM stuff, yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve, especially with this coming up, Dofi treasure map, having our highest point booster not be compatible with the second and third highest point booster. It's like, what's the point of doing that? Why don't you just give it? I know they want the most recent legend to be the highest point booster because that'll make people want to pull for that legend in the treasure map Suga first.
Yeah.
Because we've had V2 Saba for how long now? Like
Fair few
yeah.
months
It's
now.
been a
Fair
few
few
months.
V2 Sabo came out at the end of January.
Jesus, that
Really?
boy's been 9 months. Damn.
Yeah, see, exactly. So we've had if they make him the highest point booster, oh, we're not going to get because they've had so many months to pull him. Most of the community probably has him by now, and if they don't, well then, just there's more people who will be trying hard in the treasure map that will already have V2 Sabo than people that will have Bato Cav.
Yes, 100%. Like if it's just more comfortable to run Saba
Mm.
in terms of like the TM. He's obviously he was
Yeah,
built.
they're like, oh yeah, we'll boost him, but he's not going to be the highest.
And that's an issue. It's like, do you go for that comfort or do you go for the points? Obviously, people that want to rank high are going to be going for the maximum amount of points they can get. That's obvious. But for people that are casually playing, if you have Barto Cav and you have Sabo, like I would say just run Sabo. If you're not caring about what you rank, you don't care about your tablets or whatever the case is. And I think the general populace of the OPTC community doesn't care about rainbowing legends and such. So if you have the Sabo, I'd say run the Sabo. I'm probably going to run the Sabo.
I'm not sure yet. I want to see the actual point boost.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
if by some miracle Sabo's highest point booster, I'm gonna be floored.
Yeah, we're laughing,
I'm gonna be floored.
That's great. Like if Sabo's somehow he's the highest point booster, that'd be like the best for everyone at the end of the day. at least like a lot of people are going to have him or have had the chance to get him now, whereas Bato Cav is still fresh.
Yeah, I actually know a lot more people who pulled Bato Cav just because of this Sugo Fest,
Yeah.
and like this is Kobe included. He pulled Bato Cav when he like one of his most wanted legends is V2 Sabo, but yet he did not get him.
See, I pulled 2 V2 Cybers. I'm like, bro, give me something else. I want
Yeah,
to Cracker.
I rainbowed V2 Sabo fast as too, just from all the dupes.
When are we expecting the treasure map?
18.
18th, I think. Yeah.
Because
Oh,
that's when
man, it's so
that's
late.
when that's when TM Sugo.
Yeah, it is a
Part
very
one
late
ends.
treasure map. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
'cause
maybe
release.
maybe they're trying to stall it out a little bit though, in the sense of like, well, if we're looking into the future of legends that are being released, like there's kind of like that weird gap where they jump from Zoro Mihawk to Luffy Law, like that, and nothing significant's gonna happen when Luffy Law released though, in terms of like holidays and like the time of the year and stuff.
100 million download celebration.
Oh, okay, hold on. I haven't been thinking about that.
Bullet.
The next few months are going to be interesting because we don't know when Bullet's going to come out because the movie things are always different. It could because
Bullet could make a surprise come through at some point. We do, like that's the thing. He come out of nowhere.
Yeah, he
now.
could come out at any time.
If he
Comes
came
out
out
when we're sitting in the movie theater.
okay, if that happens, you'll need to drop like 9 multis. In the movie theaters.
Todd's going to exit the movie to go make a video.
Gonna
Make
go
a
record a video.
Doing like handheld world star hip hop phone camera. What's going on, my broskies? Bullet just dropped. I'm outside the movie theater Stampede.
I was actually looking at some JP news as well. The next treasure map on JP being Blackbeard is it's got an invasion on it, which is good. I like to see that.
Yes.
And also another thing on JP that I just saw as well is that there is a new Marineford quote unquote event. So the special event, it's got a list here. So Raid Ace is coming to JP on the 13th of September, which is actually today for JP. So that's pretty cool. And it's going to be here for like 2 weeks. Then they've got Treasure Map Blackbeard, which is understandable. But then after that, on the 19th of September until October 10th, so for a pretty good amount of time, Special Jailbreak Adventure. Don't know what that means. And then September 23rd until September 30th versus Crocodile. So people are saying it looks like a raid Crocodile is coming out. Very interesting.
Indeed.
I don't know what the Jailbreak Adventure means.
The Jailbreak Adventure could, like, as sad as it is, it could just be that buggy, that buggy jail fortnight, and that just runs for a whole like month.
Oh my god!
Like, I hope it's not, but like you never know. It could definitely be that. Versus Crocodile is pretty cool. I'd love to see a raid Crocodile. That'd be really awesome.
We need a V2 Crocodile.
We need a good Crocodile.
Crocodile's severely outdated.
That boy sucks.
V2 Crocodile, bring back the striker meta.
Yes, it's time. Let me dust off my.
About too is like, because they're releasing Quick Whitebeard. What if they make Crocodile like a striker support unit for Whitebeard or something?
Ooh,
bro, that's a big bro moment.
Also, we can talk about TM Blackbeard. That boy
beefy.
That boy very strong.
He is very good. So for those who don't know what Blackbeard does, captain ability is a 4 times attack captain to int all the time.
That's crazy.
And also increases damage received by 1.25, so very reminiscent of his raid boss version. And he has a really cool passive ability inside his captain, which says recover 2 turns of cooldown when specials are rewinded.
Ooh.
So I like the fact that they're trying to introduce like special effects into the captain ability that are active all the time. That's really cool.
This game is just getting more and more complex.
It really is.
I mean, that's the only way they can progress, though, in terms of like units and stuff.
Yeah, but it's also making new players harder. Like it's harder to get new players interested in the game because they take one look at it. It's like, oh wow, there are so many different moving parts. I have to learn.
That's why you watch Todd's videos, man.
But then again, at the same time, like you can't just keep it the way it is because then the end game is going to get bored.
Yeah, and it'll get stale for us.
The way that they're going, like the next like batch of legends that are going to come out over the next few months, if they're going to have anything like this, like oh boy, like I can imagine Kaido being some stupid shit.
Bruh.
You know, I hope Kaido's just like a 3 times captain. They just absolutely screw him over. They do some fun. They do some funny stuff.
2.5 times captain.
2.5 times captain, but you can't die. Okay, dude.
That's
attack after
that's
good
big brain.
perfect.
After good, it's time, dude. Dude, he's just unstoppable. He just can't die. He's the true zombie, the hero we always needed.
Hero we need but don't deserve.
We don't. But speaking like on TM Blackbeard though, Sengoku's boosted 2.25, Quick Whitebeard's boosted 2 times, Vista's boosted 1.6. They got some good boosts. Like very strong. Like the teams like them and with invasion as well. Like you're on a 2 times Whitebeard team or Sengoku Whitebeard team, you get into like probably like upwards of 30 times, 30 to like 40 times teams with invasion as well. So like not bad. I mean we're not gonna see that because when this
we don't have
TM
an
comes
invasion.
to us, we ain't gonna get that kind of stuff. But and then Sugar Vest pretty standard for JP now. I think it's second multi is Vista guaranteed, 13 multi is Whitebeard, and Sengoku is just scattered in there somewhere. But like
It's really exciting to see what kind of points the JP players get because they go insane.
Yeah,
I mean, Coruscant, shout out Corey. That boy might go for like 2 bill. He might be the first to break the 2 bill threshold. I could see it happening.
That's wild, bro. I don't know how people have the ability to just sit there for 24 hours.
The stamina, man.
I mean, that man's got gems to spend.
Oh yeah, Coruscant has got some sort of bank. I don't know where it's from. But he's got something.
He's got investors.
He has even invested in him. If you come first, easy money. You got some sponsorship. I don't know. You got something.
Is it OPTC esports?
Okay.
Bruh.
That's crazy, dude. Say that for another episode. We'll discuss that later on.
Yeah, this is where we're going to bring in the alliances.
Oh,
that'd be dope.
I kind of hope not, like because we have that in Dan Memo, and it makes it a lot more stressful because you got to worry not just about your own account, but you got to worry about like your group,
everyone else's.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The thing is that I feel like the OPTC community is so tightly that we could have like a handful of us. Like we if we were alliances, we'd already know who'd be on our alliance. Let's be honest.
And none of you on my alliance.
No, fuck that.
I'm gonna get Lay. I'm getting Trunks. I'm getting Rye. I'm getting all the big boys. That's all I want.
I'm getting Joy Boy.
I'm getting Joy Boy. I'm getting Robert. I'm getting all the goons, man. Joy Boy revival is time. Oh no.
Fight for Robert.
Yeah, we actually have to fight for Robert. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, Robert for sure.
But like also on DJK612's question, he had another part to it. He said, "Do you keep at least 1 copy of every rare recruit, or do you just sell them if they are totally useless?"
I keep 1 copy of every unit.
Yep.
Yes, I do the same thing. I feel like you never know when something's gonna pop out and actually be.
Except for rare recruit Shiryu, you don't need him.
Oh my god, this guy. I've seen you use Shiryu before.
Oh, Shiryu is actually a beast.
So what? They're both the same unit though. At the end of the day.
No.
They're both Shiryu.
No, rare recruit Shiryu is cheese.
Oh my god.
I don't want no cheese. Lactose intolerant over here.
Oh no.
Mans is freaking crazy.
That boy's wildin'.
I think a lot of people think about some units like I'll probably never use them, but I learned my lesson during the World Clash. You guys remember that like Fortnite Lafitte that probably no one ever thought they were going to use? He was the GOAT for one of the fights. If he didn't have one of the boosters.
Oh, it was rare recruit Lafitte.
Oh, was it rare recruit Lafitte?
Yeah,
I thought it was. I don't know. I'm thinking of who's that shark guy that was in Whitebeard's group? The Namule. Yeah, Fortnite Namule. He turned up really useful for that. So you never know when someone's going to be useful. So there's no point in selling.
Namule was for the Jinbei fight, and the Lafitte was for the Akainu fight.
And I feel like there's no there's no excuse anymore in terms of like you don't have box space. Like I think Global's box space is at 1800 cap now. I'm fairly sure.
Plus stackables.
And exactly, we have everything's stackable now. Like the amount of box space you save because mostly, if not everything, is stackable now. Like, there's nothing to like excuse anymore. Like, you have so much free box space that have all the units in the game, pretty much.
Yep.
Facts.
So I feel like that's something that definitely you need. Like, I think it's only fair you carry everything. In terms of like rare recruits, I think you could kind of get into the question of like, do you guys, okay, let's expand on it. Do you guys hold on to the rare recruits that are going to get like limit breaks in the future or like going to get supports in the future? Do you just sell them to the raid shop? Do you care? Like, what do you guys
I
doing
sell
like that?
I sell everything, but that's because I pull so much that it doesn't matter, to be honest. Like by the time their supportability comes around, it's like, well, okay, I would have pulled 10 copies, so I would have had heaps saved. Or the next Sugo Fest, I might pull it. And worst comes to worst, I'll just use the medals.
Yep.
Yeah.
For a
Yep.
free-to-play player, they shouldn't really be trying to sell things for ray points because I feel like the ray shop is not really for free-to-play players, but also rainbowing is not really that important for free-to-play players. So I'm not sure what they would
Well,
what's
the thing
better for
is,
them.
I'd say like for free to play players, the thing is like I know a lot of people, especially in my comment section, a lot of people complain about getting the Super Evolution skulls. So for them, I would say, the Super Evolution skulls, I'd say, are probably top priority, especially if you have a
Yes,
lot of
100%.
characters that need super evolving. But like like the legend tickets, I wouldn't suggest buying those because the chances to get something good from it is very low.
No, there's no point. Like, I don't see a point in buying like the legend ticket in the first place. Like, if you have an absorptive amount of ray points, or you have like 500k or even like a couple 100k, well, you get hit with a 50k, you're like, that's fine. I can justify that. Then it's different. But if you're scrounging for ray points to like buy it, then don't do it. There's no point.
I've seen people put on Twitter saying, "Oh, I need this skull, or I want to do this red pool. Do I sell this legend that I don't really use?" It's like, no, keep every single legend you have. You might not like it at the moment, but down the road it might be helpful to you.
Like we're saying, you never know what legend's gonna pop. I think like in this raid, like in the Clash Ace, legend 6+ Barto. Hell, are you saying?
Yeah,
We haven't,
that's facts.
no one's touched Barto in like a year, and like he pops up out of nowhere. He becomes extremely useful in this raid. So, like you never know when things like that's, I think, one of the good things with TC is that you just never know when the devs are gonna be like, all right, let's make these units useful. Because like just the content, how it revolves and how they design the content a lot of the time is just, I personally feel like if I was designing the content, I'd randomly make content applicable. It's like some random ass rare recruit from like 4 years ago. Like, you have this guy, bro, you're set.
I mean, I understand with that, and I definitely think that people should keep one copy of every single rare recruit because, as you said, you just never know when it's going to be useful. But the thing is those rare recruits from, let's say, 4 years ago, there are just other characters in the game that can just do what those characters do or better,
and more typically.
Yeah,
do the exact same thing and more. So like, well, like, how would you say like we could not justify but fix that problem then? In
Super
terms
Evolutions.
of do you think giving every rare recruit Super Evolutions though is the
Bruh.
way?
Maybe in batches, I think that'd be cool.
That's a lot though when you think about it.
Didn't they recently, like last week, they changed some old units' abilities? I can't remember who it was, but they like upgraded their special or something like that, or their
Ooh.
captain. Broke would probably know what I'm talking about. I can't think off the
I
top
have
of my
no
head.
idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
It might have been some old Fortnite. Oh, Fortnite. Who's the long leg guy? Like Blue Gilly. They like made him like pretty good. And
Wait, what?
yeah, some random old Fortnite characters. I remember they got a slight buff on JP for some reason.
The hell?
Yeah,
That's
let me see if
ridiculous.
I can find that.
Was
That is
that-
very odd.
So that's like, that kind of stuff's weird. The fact that we didn't even hear about it kind of is par for the course that we don't care.
I
Like,
think limit breaks were supposed to make these old characters good, but they really didn't do much.
Yeah.
True.
Either their crewmate abilities are still bad, or the thing is with the limit break, you can't change their special, so their specials are never going to change unless if you give them a super evolution. And their captain abilities do get slight upgrades with limit breaks, but it's nothing worth using when you got legends.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the next logical step is then for the game? Obviously, we're saying super evolutions. That's
Still
like
what they do on Dokkan with their Extreme Z Awakening, because they make characters that were legitimately released in 2016 as good as some of the regular SSR characters that come out on recent banners. They make them so good, it is absurd, and you don't have to produce new artwork for it. It's just like upgrading the stats and upgrading the ability of the character, which is what we would need.
So you're saying
something
like
Like, so it doesn't even have to be a super evolution. Like, they introduced special evolution.
yeah,
So
special action, yeah.
Yeah, so upgrades their special, and like, yeah, they could get some of them super revolutions, but for the most part, like, if they just want to upgrade every single character in the box, like in a slow progression, like they did with Limit Break, like a slow rollout, they can do it, batch by batch, and that's it. Okay, you can do a special evolution for this special, and it adds so instead of getting rid of its old one, because its old one might be half decent, it gives it like a second activation special, which is just a completely different special. You know what I mean?
Like, what if they did? What if they introduced like a new feature where a character, so kind of like with a captain action where you swipe down. Maybe they introduce a new feature for older characters where you swipe down and you get like a new absurd effect that's only for that character. I don't know.
Okay, like a second special.
Yeah, something like that.
So like have like two specials in the character, so you could do one thing, but then you could choose for it to do something else. I mean, I could see that happening. Would you guys say that like they could potentially do like, because you're saying like Z Awakening? I'm not 100% sure what it is exactly, but like, could you kind of say like they could do like another limit break, like a kind of another form of limit breaking where
it's
it doesn't
kind of like what it is, what an Extreme Z Awaken is. Yeah, you basically like farm for these medals, and then like the characters on Dokkan, for those who don't know, max out at level 120, and then these Extreme Z Awakens make them go to level 140. So
well, maybe
they increase the level cap, and then along with
that's
that,
what we need to do. Maybe rather than capping characters at level 99, cap them at another level, so their power, so like their attack and HP and recovery get extreme boosts, like a lot more, so they become more viable in that sense. But maybe while leveling them up, it alters their captain ability or their special, and I think the best way to introduce it would not be through some sort of like explicit farming content where it's like medals or limit breaking material. Have it farmable at all times and viably farmable as well.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, as well, is like I feel like with Treasure Cruise, they probably wouldn't want to just introduce something that makes older characters really, really good, because then people won't want to pull for the new stuff.
True.
So they have to try and balance that, which is the difficult part.
They don't even have to make it really, really good. They just got to make them playable.
Yeah, like immediately, like the characters that I'm thinking of are characters like the original Supernova batches, or like Whitebeard's batch, with Marco Vista. I mean, Vista's still really good. I use Vista a lot.
Yeah.
Or just those older type characters. Even like the original like Cavendish batch with like Suleiman, King Do, like those types of guys.
I think
as long as it doesn't become like Neo Rare Recruits. Neo Rare Recruits would kill the game.
No, do not bring Neos into Sugos or anything like
that.
Dude,
if Neo Rare Recruits happen, I might quit the game at that point. I'll say, you know what? Like, I'm done.
That's just a cash grab.
Yeah, that's a blatant cash grab. Like that's like, okay, the game is dying now. Like that's when you realize, okay, it's over. Like I don't want to see that kind of stuff. I like the idea of getting 6+ legends is cool. We're getting some random ass 5+, even like wasn't it like a 4+ Capone? Like,
yeah,
that was
like why are you doing that? Just
story mode
4+
5-star.
Capone. Like just make him a 5-star, make him 5+. That's fine. You can do that. But I think like the 5-star of rare recruits and like older characters can work, but it's just how they distribute, like in terms of skulls and stuff, which is the hard part.
It's really annoying that they gave some selected super evolutions to story mode characters when we have these rare recruits that are just sitting here doing nothing. It just really frustrates me. Really
like you said though, it's kind of like that mentality of they want to keep releasing better and better stuff so people continue pulling.
I mean, when you look at like 5+ Robin, she's like so good.
Yes, still very good.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Like 5+ Luffy, he's usable, I guess. 5+ Sanji, still relatively usable. There's a good array of them.
So Joba just found the link to the updated thing.
Oh, okay.
So they said,
it looks like there's a couple of old units that got buffed.
Oh, this. Yeah, I do remember this.
Fortnite Monet, I think, is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's it. She got special, reduces 5 turns of despair, reduces 5 turns of threshold damage reduction, changes block and badly matching to matching.
Holy
that's really
shit.
What the hell? Why is she so good?
That's really good. For a Fortnite unit as well. Like, that's extremely strong. and it's called Raid Countermeasure Adventures. So it
Interesting.
seems like it's gonna be some new maybe this is it. Maybe this is exactly what we were just talking about. Maybe it's like that renaissance, that upgrading of a lot of old style content.
That'd be awesome.
I mean,
That's
I'm
a
excited.
really good
So
special for a
they're
Fortnite game.
classifying these countermeasure things. They're more difficult than Fortnite's, but not as difficult as raid bosses.
Which is
Perfect.
good.
So they're still easy.
So like now we have story characters, we have Fortnite characters, we have countermeasure characters, we have raid characters, we have color characters. In terms
Wait,
of
so
farmable.
it doesn't just update it. It's like a completely separate unit.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the same unit.
Yeah, because this one's
Just-
Dex though, and Fortnite Monet is Psy.
They're basically Neos.
It's a Neo, yeah. It's
It's a Neo
Oh,
Fortnite, damn it.
Wait, where does it say that she's Dex?
Broke said in Discord.
just
Oh.
notice it said edit. Just notice that on the picture she's on a Legend Army team, therefore she might be a Dex type. So that's not confirmed.
Then again, the example teams that they give out never
not that
really,
good.
yeah,
So
They
I
don't
don't know.
synergize well.
They're kind of clowning, so that's all I'm saying. They eat glue. The devs themselves straight up eat glue in terms of team building. But maybe this is is this the right step? Having a middleman between raids and Fortnites in terms of difficulty?
Yeah,
Or
because Fortnites are kind of no one uses the Fortnite units anymore.
The more
like,
recent Fortnites are pretty decent.
pretty
but
good,
back
yeah.
at- like some of those Fortnites are terrible.
but honestly, think about when was the last time you used a Fortnite unit? Because
Probably in TM only.
World Clash.
Yeah, World
None
Clash.
at all.
I see.
maybe-
I didn't even compete in World Clash because I didn't need to.
Maybe probably TM. Like when you're building teams, you need to fill like
yeah,
the
the
one
Maybe?
team.
Yeah, Treasure
The
Map
first
NL.
couple
I use
have.
Wanda, the Fortnite Wanda.
Fortnite Wonders Fire.
She reduces
Like for that
paralysis.
paralysis, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Some raids have been a little lackluster, but after this Blackbeard, well, he's a TM unit, never mind. But we just need better free to play units, I think, in general.
Mm.
I mean, we're getting that though. I think every color that's been released has been quite decent.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Peak is fantastic.
Peak is
Yeah.
amazing.
But
But things like even Kolo Katakuri isn't that bad. He's
Yeah,
a
he's
pretty
usable.
decent user.
Yeah.
You have things like Magellan, who's probably one of the best, if not the best color unit.
yeah.
Farm your damn Kolo kids. That's all I'm saying.
Can't beat the
Oh,
ultimate
man.
difficulty. Just do the
I'm
lowest.
underground, please.
Freaking do it. You need to do it. These characters are so good.
I would go so far as to say he's the best free to play unit. At least he's the one that I like the most.
I would
Maybe
say
some
so.
choose from.
I'd probably say he might be the best free to play unit in the game.
Wait, who?
Some-
Maybe that.
What's his name? Call Kid.
I'd say he's probably the best, if not up
There's
there,
lots
if
of
not
good
the
free-to-play
best.
units.
I think his special is just so, it's just good. It's incredibly good.
For
And
speed,
it's-
for
yeah,
end of turn
it's so
damage.
useful as well though. It's very it's just very universal in terms of where you can chuck it in and how you can use it for sure.
Especially against quick enemies. 1.2 mil damage.
Yeah. See you later, mate. you out. They're dead.
Oh shit. That could
That'd be
bring us
pretty
to
good debate.
yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know.
The other
Pretty
topic
fun.
I had was the big discussion in the community recently with the moving artworks.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
I've been seeing those. I don't like that they're getting spammed so much on the subreddit.
Oh, the subreddit, they took it way too far. Holy shit.
Nevertheless, I think that should have been a thing from the start. I don't see why it wasn't that stuff's so cool. Having moving flames on Marco's wing, that stuff is
Mhm.
awesome. I don't see why that wasn't introduced as a thing.
I
Would
saw
it be a
people
storage issue?
what was that, Joe?
Yeah, probably.
Would it be a storage issue?
I mean that it'd be a larger file probably to store. I mean, you could probably compress it, but in turn, it definitely would just be a larger thing to store. Which I mean, the game somehow, even after 5 years, is still in 500 megabytes.
Mm.
That's incredibly small for a gacha game that's lasted this
I
long.
saw people actually put up a good point. What if you only get the artwork if you rainbow the legend?
That would be dope, actually.
That would make rainbowing a legend
Yeah.
such an incentive.
True.
Because when you rainbow a legend, it the border is really cool, but you don't
The
actually
legend's
get
the same.
that much out of it. But a moving artwork, people would be like, "Yes, I need these tablets," and that would mean like, "I want to rank up. I need to get these tablets. I want to get that moving artwork." You know, it's like a flex.
Do you know how much work that is for Bandai, and how little of a chance there is that they're going to update the art of every single legend?
I don't think it'll be every legend though. I think it maybe be released in waves or something.
I agree.
But I'd be
They didn't even update our
disappointed. I'd be disappointed.
But like, it's not that big a deal. But like, you see it on like Dokkan and with
True,
like
You
some
need-
with some
you
of their
need that
artwork.
stuff. You need
Yeah,
that.
but their artwork is in 240p, so
Yeah, that's also true.
Oh no, poor Dokkan, man. We need to get someone that plays Dokkan on the cast at some point.
On the Treasure Cruise cast.
What's up with that, by the way? Because there's no way they don't have enough money to make like decent artworks. I don't know why it's got to be so.
Because they don't need to.
Because it's
That's what-
fast and
They don't need to. That's the thing. Dokkan knows they can make $16 million a month from the US player base only.
I
yeah.
guess.
And they can release the worst quality stuff, and people are still going to drop money. And the reason why people drop money is because their gem or their stone sales are so fire. That's where that's where the money comes from.
It would just be nicer because a lot of these weebs are pulling just to collect their favorite Dragon Ball units or in any gacha.
I mean, that's the case in any gacha, but I think Dokkan also provides the option to spend more money and get more out, like more mileage out of the money you spend. Whereas in Treasure Cruise, it's still the same trash, regardless of how big the gem pack is. You're still spending too much money for it.
Yeah.
I've come to realize that now, and I will no longer
It's
be
so
spending on the
expensive.
game.
Like we were talking about this yesterday. Like $5 per single pull is ridiculous when there's so many units. That's really got to be changed, I think.
Yeah.
And like I still I think like if somehow they can incorporate because like looking at Pokemon Masters, the game is very lackluster at the moment. We're all aware of that. However, I do enjoy the fact that they offer a discounted single pull every day.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating that it has to gems
Has to
you
be paid.
purchased.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't be mad. Like I would justify spending $30 a month on 3,000 gems to just do single pulls every day than I would dropping like $100 on like 4 multis.
What Masters needs to do though is give you more incentive to do multis because by the looks of it, singles are just as good. People are singling
Singles are
5 stars here and there.
There's
Dude,
literally no reason to do multis.
I've singled 2 5-stars in a row just from the discount. I've singled blue yesterday. I was like, what is going on, man? Like, it's like, yeah, for sure. Singles
the only incentive they technically give is like singles don't add to your counter to pick
not
a character.
Yeah. But the scout point counter thing already is too high.
Yes.
400 is, if it was 200.
400's like what, 20 multis or something?
You're
like that?
you're 100% not reaching that before the banner leaves.
Unless you're dropping like $3,000 on every.
Yeah.
And by that point, you should have the unit maxed out.
You should have every unit maxed out at that point.
That's exactly right.
Like, there's no way you're not. Like, I think if they dropped it down to like 200, then it might, like, that's still 10 multis. But still, though, like, you could definitely see people reaching that a lot more. Like, it would be a lot more common for people to reach that than it wouldn't. Maybe even 100. 5 multis. Like, yeah, people will drop 5 multis, not get the unit they want, then just be able to pick it. That's definitely doable.
They have a lot of room for improvement in the game. I saw a Reddit post that about someone played this game that same company made, another gacha game, and that they started kind of crappy, and then with a lot of player feedback, like they made the game drastically better.
No, Dina supposedly does listen to a lot of player feedback, which is important.
That's actually really good to hear. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And
only Bandai listen to player feedback.
Only Bandai did that.
Oh no.
Remember when they had that like questionnaire like a year ago, maybe?
And they're taking this long to implement everything.
Yeah.
We need like more of those. Just
Yeah,
like more questionnaires.
That was nice.
I feel like it's
At least-
important for a company as well, though, to understand what players want. Like, obviously, every player's gonna be like, cheaper gems, better units, more free to play friendly. Like that's the obvious stuff.
More 10 legend multis.
More 10 legend multis, but
I
I'm
think everyone
in.
would like that. Yeah.
After that, dude, they can only go up from that because
I think they can go down. Bandai is very good at giving us good stuff and then turning around and giving us like terrible things.
Our treasure map Sugos are shit now.
Now
9
that
multis, dude.
now it's 2-9, bro. At least we ain't JP. Not 2-13. Like
Yeah.
2-13 is crazy. If you ain't Waylon, I don't know what you like. Like JP, you have to get extremely lucky at that point
Yeah.
doing that many.
Yeah, just gotta hope that you can pull. I hope that the lore in this upcoming treasure map, Sugo, has a decent rate at least.
Yes,
Like Jinbei last map, he was 0.75, I think, which
which is pretty good
it's
for
still
like.
low in the grand scheme of things, but compared to previous higher point boosters being 0.5, it's a slight increase. So hopefully it continues in that trend.
I think the one draw I take from the 11 legend multi is the fact that just maybe there's a chance that Sugo rates might be getting changed. I don't think it will,
I hope not.
but like I hope that like they've finally like considered, okay, we messed up on Carrot big time. And
Well, yeah, the
like,
feedback for that was absolute. Like the whole community was screaming
Yeah,
about that.
that was hostile. And the
that's
thing
really
is, that Sugo Fest came out on the IRL event weekend.
Yeah,
So the devs definitely knew about it.
I feel like
Worst
no
Sugo
doubt.
ever.
that's
It was
really
my
the
most
first time.
anticipated Sugo and the most heartbroken I've ever been.
Yes, 100%. Probably the first time the community's actually all come together in a consensus as well. It's very rare that like that happens, and everyone was
It
like,
is.
"Nah, this is not okay." But
Yeah.
I hope that like this Sugo Fest, in terms of like giving players something good. I mean, this is like a 1 in a million Sugo Fest. I doubt we're
Yeah.
going to see something like this either ever in the game's lifespan or very rarely, like very rarely.
I
I'm
can,
maybe-
gonna see this.
I
maybe
can see them
Annie.
do it. Yeah, I can see them doing it for every Annie now, but only one. It won't be.
One.
It won't be two multis.
I think once per year they should do it.
I mean, like it's cool if they did an Annie and they said like do 12 multis, you get limited pool, like
But legit,
like,
make the limited pool 12
like
months legends prior.
not even 12, make it 6.
Oh,
Give me like 3 legends in the pool. I want to pull dupes.
If they're doing it once per year, I think just all the legends in that previous year you can get
Yeah,
on that.
I think so. I think from the start, from January 20, let's say like for next year's
From,
thing.
it will just be from like between Annie to Annie.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I could see that. Like that'd be ideal, 100% ideal. Because all the legends now that are getting released are like good. Like there are no legends where like you kind of like, oh, I don't want this character. You're like, yeah, these characters are actually good now because that's how the content works.
Yeah.
You need the legend to clear the content in the easiest way possible.
I just really want to see more global first legends. I love global
Dude,
first legends
Todd,
because it gets
you
me
and
so
I,
much.
man, we're holding out. We're
Global
holding
first
out
legends
on
are
that.
so
We're holding out
exciting.
on that global first to come in before Luffy
As long
Law
as
gets
we-
dropped.
As long as we can survive the TM Sugo that
Yeah, as long as it's not a
later.
treasure map release legend, yeah. Which
No,
all of them
please.
have been so far.
Yeah.
Are they really?
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Garp,
Actually,
Garp, Dex Sabo, Cat Dog, Jack. Or Jack technically wasn't, but
TM. Sorry, not Whitebeard. Technically wasn't as well.
yeah, Whitebeard as well. Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. They're not all treasure map
But like
releases.
the
Except for
majority
Jack.
of them
Jack
are.
was the
But it's
only one.
pretty easy to like do that though. You can drop TM and then be like, hey, he's a legend. Everybody like, whoa, I was gonna pull anyway, but now it's more incentive to pull. Pull
It's
more
annoying
now
because yeah, there've always been legends that don't have a batch.
Oh, those I think like that kind of stuff sucks.
Then again, it was really weird when we got V2 Boa because V2 Boa, when she got released, we got her batch with her release.
Mhm.
Where on Korea, V2 Boa came out first. She didn't have a batch on Korea.
That's
Really?
weird.
They released the batch later on Korea.
See, how do you like release that though? You
Like the Boa
here's
sisters.
a batch.
You remember
like,
how OP the Boa sisters were on release?
bro,
Yeah, we didn't even get them.
they're dope, man.
Yeah.
Bowl sisters, they did a
They were,
lot.
they were like my first limit, like because when they came out, when their limit break came out, that was the first things I tried.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what a lot of people
sure.
chose. Yeah,
For sure. They were very good. They did a lot in
they were
terms
the
of
best
like
rare
2
recruits,
units.
hands down. At
Hands
that time.
down. Now it's like every rare recruit does like 35 things.
Mm.
Unless if you're Sabo Koala's batch, then you do nothing.
You do nothing. You sit there and you look pretty. That's it.
You watch the captain do what they do.
Look at me.
Yeah,
I ain't
you
the
watch
cup
Sabo
enough.
Koala do everything, and you
Yep.
guys are like, oh, word? You're like, okay. Well, I think that wraps up episode 2 of Good, Great, Perfect. I think this was a good good discussion points.
Yeah.
Shout out to Todd. Shout out Joba. Shout out Dilba. Thanks for coming with me today on episode 2. Shout out Cobby. Unfortunately, couldn't be here because of work. Also, shout out Nightmare. We hope you finally fix your internet at some point. Please. We've been waiting to have you on the podcast as well. Few things. Hit us up on Twitter at GGP Podcast. We just tell us what you think of the episodes, what you like, what you don't like. Send in more questions. We're starting to compile a lot of the questions, and a lot of the quick fire questions. We're going to start to those like rapid fire them in episodes so we can get through a lot of the questions. So send in as many questions as you can. Look at us on anchor.fm/goodgreatperfect. You can also send us voice recorded messages there. Please try out that feature. Cobby, I know, is very excited for that feature and he wants to try and use it within one of the episodes at some point. So we would also appreciate maybe some people try it out too. You can find us on YouTube at Good Grade Perfect. Find us on Anchor, like I said. We're everywhere now via Anchor. So Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, and Breaker at the moment. Hopefully that expands a little further so we can kind of delve into more areas. And let us know as well if you want the podcast on SoundCloud. Because if that's the case, I'll upload episode 1 and I'll also upload episode 2 as well. Nevertheless, thank you everyone for listening to today's podcast. We will catch you next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.
See you.